Every year, millions of people make the same financial plan. Save money, buy a flat, invest in mutual funds, maybe some gold, and that's it. That's the entire plan. Meanwhile, there's an asset class sitting quietly, one that doesn't crash when the market crashes, doesn't need a broker to manage it, doesn't get taxed the same way as everything else you own. And most educated working professionals in India are completely ignoring it. I'm talking about agricultural land. Not the dusty patch you've seen in your village, not something only farmers own, not something you can't understand. By the end of this video, you're going to see agricultural land in a way you never have before. And whether you buy it or not, that decision will be genuinely informed. Let's begin. Here's a number most people don't know. India has approximately 180 million hectares of agricultural land. That's more than the entire landmass of several European countries combined. Now here's the interesting part. Most of this land is owned by people who are not professional farmers. Small parcels, inherited property, land registered in family names, land that's either lying unused or rented out for almost nothing. And while these landowners are busy with jobs, businesses, and city life, they are quietly sitting on one of the most undervalued assets in the Indian economy. So today, we're going to break this down clearly, honestly, and practically. We'll talk about 7 major advantages of owning agricultural land. We'll talk about the risks too, because no real conversation about this is complete without them. And we'll tell you exactly who should seriously consider this and who should not. Let's start with something that surprises almost everyone. Agricultural land gives you access to a completely different set of financial products. Kisan Credit Card, KCC, is a government-backed credit facility that gives farmers flexible access to working capital at subsidized interest rates. As of recent years, short-term crop loans up to 3 lakh rupees through KCC have been available at 4% per annum effective interest, after government interest subvention. 4%, when regular personal loan rates run at 12% to 18%. Agricultural land can also be used as collateral for loans, often at better terms than urban property in certain schemes. Under PM Kisan and various state government schemes, landowners who register as cultivators get additional direct benefit transfers. Cash directly into bank accounts, with no tax on that either. And there's one more banking benefit most people miss. Agricultural land records. Your 712 extract or land patta are legal documents. They establish you as a landholder. In many rural and semi-urban areas, this alone improves your credit credibility and access to formal banking. Now let's talk about government schemes, because this is where agricultural land ownership becomes genuinely powerful. If you own agricultural land in India, you are eligible for schemes that most city-based investors can never access. Let me name just a few. PM Kusum, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Utthan Mahabhiyan, allows farmers to install solar panels on their land and sell surplus electricity to the grid. In many states, the government subsidizes 30 to 60% of the installation cost. You earn income from your crop and from solar energy from the same land. PM Krishi Sinchai Yojana focuses on irrigation infrastructure. Eligible landowners can get subsidy support for drip and sprinkler systems, cutting water costs while improving yield. National Horticulture Mission. If you plant fruit orchards, vegetable crops, or floriculture on your land, there are per hectare subsidies available through state horticulture departments. Crop insurance under PMFBY, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, protects you from losses due to drought, flood, or pest attack. Farm mechanization subsidies. Eligible landowners can buy tractors, tillers, or harvesting machines at subsidized prices through SMAM, the Submission on Agricultural Mechanization. Here's the critical point. These schemes exist for landowners, not renters, not investors in agricultural stocks, for people who actually own agricultural land. And most urban Indians never take advantage of any of this. Now let's talk about what agricultural land can actually produce. And I want to be very honest here. Farming is not an ATM. It takes time, planning, and either your involvement or a trustworthy local manager. But the income possibilities are genuinely varied. Crop leasing, the simplest option. You lease your land to a local farmer. They pay you rent, either fixed or as a share of the harvest. You earn passive income with minimal involvement. Perennial crops, mango, coconut, teak, bamboo, sandalwood. Plant once, earn for decades. These are long-term plays, but the returns compound over time, and some trees appreciate in value even as assets. Vegetable and seasonal crops. Higher income potential, higher involvement, higher risk. Best with proper water access and market linkages. Integrated farming. Combining crops with dairy, goat farming, or poultry on the same land. This can significantly improve per acre income and reduce risk by diversifying revenue streams. Agri-tourism. This is an emerging category. Urban families, schools, and corporate teams are increasingly paying to visit real working farms. If your land is accessible and well developed, this can be a high-margin income stream that requires no selling of anything, just hosting. Solar leasing. If you don't want to farm at all, some solar developers will lease your land to install solar projects. You earn annual rent. Your land produces clean energy. You do nothing else. The key insight is this: agricultural land is not one income stream. It's a platform for multiple income possibilities, and you choose the level of involvement you're comfortable with. Agricultural land in India has historically appreciated, not always dramatically and not uniformly, but meaningfully over the long term in many regions. Key drivers of appreciation. Infrastructure growth. When a highway, railway, or industrial corridor comes near agricultural land, values often increase significantly. We've seen this pattern across many states. Land that was farmland a decade ago is now in industrial zones. Water access development. Land near new irrigation canals or bore wells appreciates differently than dry land. Water transforms land economics. Urbanization pressure. As cities expand, peri-urban agricultural land faces conversion pressure. This has driven appreciation in many areas around Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. But here is an important nuance. Agricultural land appreciation is not guaranteed. It is highly location dependent. It is not liquid. You cannot sell it overnight like a mutual fund unit. What it does offer is this: it is a real, tangible, inflation-resistant asset. It does not go to zero. It produces something even in its base form. And over patient, long-term holding periods, quality agricultural land in good locations has been a reliable wealth preserver. For a diversified investor, not as their only asset, but as one pillar, agricultural land functions as a hedge that most people's financial plans completely exclude. Beyond the numbers, agricultural land offers something that no stock market investment does: food security. If even a portion of your land produces food, vegetables, fruits, rice, you and your family have direct access to clean, fresh, chemical-reduced produce. In an era of food inflation, this is a quiet but real advantage. Family legacy. Agricultural land can be passed down across generations. Unlike financial assets that require account transfers, land is tangible. Children grow up knowing it exists. Families gather around it. In many Indian families, the ancestral farm is the last thing they sell, because it represents roots, identity, and continuity. Retirement anchor. For people approaching retirement, especially those without a pension, a piece of productive agricultural land provides a quiet income base, enough to supplement, not necessarily replace, other savings. And for NRIs, for those who have left India but still hold roots here, agricultural land is often one of the most meaningful connections to home. It can be managed remotely with the right setup, and it keeps the connection to family and origin alive. Agricultural income in India is exempt from income tax under Section 10(1) of the Income Tax Act. Income you earn from farming, from crops, from renting your land for cultivation is not taxed as regular income. Now, this doesn't mean agricultural income is invisible to the government. There are rules about how it's calculated alongside other income. And if your total income, including agricultural income, crosses certain thresholds, it can affect your tax slab computation. This is called partial integration. So consult a tax professional for your specific situation. But the broad principle stands. Agricultural income enjoys a significantly more favorable tax treatment than income from jobs, businesses, or most investments. And here's what most people don't think about. When you sell agricultural land in a rural area, under current rules, you may not pay capital gains tax on that sale either. Urban agricultural land has different rules. Again, specific conditions apply. But compared to selling a flat, selling stocks, or redeeming mutual funds, agricultural land has some of the most tax-friendly exit provisions in the entire Indian investment landscape. That alone makes it worth understanding. Most people don't know this either. Agricultural land ownership is not for everyone. And if you go in without understanding the risks, you will lose money, or worse, get stuck in legal trouble. Risk 1. Land title issues. Before buying any agricultural land, verify the title thoroughly. Encumbrances, disputed inheritance, court cases, these are common. Never buy without legal due diligence. Risk 2. Water availability. Farming without reliable water is farming at the mercy of rain. Check groundwater levels, canal access, and seasonal water tables before purchasing. Risk 3. Management problem. If you live in a city and own land 500 kilometers away, trusted local management is the single biggest challenge most absentee landowners face. Poor management means zero returns. Risk 4. Climate variability. India's agricultural risk from weather is real. Without crop insurance, one bad monsoon can wipe out a year's work. Risk 5. Liquidity. Agricultural land cannot be quickly converted to cash. If you need money urgently, this is not the asset to depend on. Risk 6. State-specific regulations. Agricultural land purchase rules vary dramatically by state. Some states restrict non-agriculturalists from buying farmland. Research the specific laws in the state where you're considering a purchase. Risk 7. Unrealistic expectations. This is perhaps the biggest one. Agricultural land is not a get-rich-quick strategy. It rewards patience, planning, and involvement over time. If you're expecting high short-term returns, this is not the right asset. Agriculture builds wealth slowly, honestly, and durably. That's a feature, not a flaw, but it requires the right mindset. So who is agricultural land really for? It's worth seriously considering if you already own inherited agricultural land that's doing nothing. Are a working professional looking to diversify beyond stocks and real estate? Want a long-term asset you can pass to your children? Are an NRI wanting to maintain a meaningful connection to India? Are approaching retirement and want a quiet income base? Are curious about starting a farming business but want to start small? It's probably not for you right now if you need the money liquid within 5 years. You have no way to manage or oversee the land. You haven't verified the legal title. You're expecting fast returns. Agriculture is not an escape from the modern economy. It's a foundation that the modern economy still depends on. And the people who understand this, who combine professional careers with roots in the land, often find they have built something most professionals never achieve: financial stability that doesn't depend entirely on a salary, a stock price, or a landlord. If you want to go deeper, we have a full video on how to build a profitable integrated farming system on just 1 acre of land. I'll link it right here. And if you own land right now and don't know what to do with it, drop a comment below. Tell me your state and your land size. If this video gave you even one new idea about agricultural land, please like it and subscribe to Discover Agriculture, because we make exactly this kind of practical, honest content about the business of farming. See you in the next video.